Hey guys, DJ Funk Nasty back at you again. This is going to be my last video of the night. I've done a whole slew of them tonight, but it's funny. One tutorial that I have forgotten about, probably should have done a long time ago, but I'm going to do for you now. It's going to be a little difficult to explain through video. It's really one of those things where you just got to practice, 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 and eventually get it down. But that is beat matching. I am definitely not a scratch aficionado. I can scratch a bit. I can do transforms. I can do some crabs. I can do, like, your standard scratches. I'm not by any means a really good scratcher. However, I will say that I have become over the years quite a good blender. And by blending, you'll notice a lot of the electronic DJs use beat matching or beat mixing, they might call it, or blending, which is basically taking the beats of the song that's currently playing, taking the beats of the song that you have queued up in your headphones, and basically adjusting the tempos of the songs, the drum beats, four to the floor, they like to call it, getting them in sync so they don't stutter, they don't go bump, 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 just so they go bump, 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 the standard four to the floor, 8-count, 4-count bar there, or 8-count bar rather. So basically the goal, if you can kind of picture this, is, and this is going to sound strange, really, ultimately, what you want to get to, if you want to be a good beat matcher, is picture your head, like your brain, and you got an ear over here, and you got an ear over here. What you want to do, and it is very unnatural at first because the human ear, it's not natural to do this, but ultimately, what you want to do to be a good beat matcher, you need to actually split your ears left to right. You want to actually be able to hear one thing with one ear while hearing something else with the other ear and being able to isolate both. And when you start out, it's often very difficult for the beginning DJ because it's just not natural. It's not natural for humans to listen that way. They don't do it by default. You really have to kind of train yourself to do this. But what you want to do is, and DJs usually prefer one ear or the other for queuing up. Some DJs like to listen to the full mix with the headphone fully on their head. I'm one of those guys that like to have only one ear covered, so even though the headphones obviously have two cups, I'm usually using only one with like a nice monitor to the side to listen to the house system. And what you want to do is one ear, the open ear, is going to be actively listening to the monitor next to you, if you're lucky. Sometimes you don't even get one. Or the master output, meaning the song that is currently playing through the PA system. And the song that's currently playing is the song that you're obviously going to mix out of and into the next one. Now, we're going to go back to the headphones. The song that you are hearing queued up with the cue button on your mixer, the other channel, one of the other channels, that's the song that you're going into, obviously. So what you're doing is when you're queuing up in the headphones, you're listening to this song that is going to be playing after the one currently playing. So what you want to do is you want to get the beats of the song in your headphones to match four to the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Your standard bars, the one that's currently playing. Now, I don't want to confuse you too much. It may sound trickier than it really is, but basically every bar's got a 1 count. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's 4 bars. Okay? Typically, at the beginning of a song, especially if you get like these DJ type releases, like Funky Mix, X Mix, that kind of deal, they usually have 8-bar intros and 8-bar outros. And this is very important because specifically what they're trying to do by doing that is make it easier for you, the DJ, to beat match. So what you're going to do is, okay, say you're using, I don't know, a funky mix track on this deck, and you got a funky mix track on this other deck. So you're mixing out of the one and into the next. Basically, you can make your mix and beat match. Technically, you could do it just about anywhere, but phrasing is important, and I'll explain that in a minute. You generally want to mix at one of three places. You want to mix either at the outro of the track, meaning the last 8 bars, okay, the break of the track, which is generally a break section somewhere in the middle of the song that gives you generally 8 bars to mix from, okay, or the intro on the beginning track that's coming in. So basically, the beginning of the track, the middle of the track, the end of the track are the optimum places to beat mix out. You'll find that people that scratch a lot they scratch a lot during the breaks because the scratching generally emulates lyrics of the song. So when there's just breaks going on, you've got a little area there that you can loop over and over again, and the scratching sound itself is somewhat emulating the vocals. So you generally would not want to scratch over a song when vocals were playing. It just doesn't sound right. But anyway, I digress. That's not beat matching. You want to beat match generally the beginning, the break, which is usually in the middle somewhere, or the end of the track. So say you get to the end of the track. You're getting to the first 4 bars, okay? Phrasing is important. And by phrasing, I mean you want to always make sure that you are on the first beat of the first bar of either a 4 or an 8 bar measure. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you may not have ever played an instrument or know a whole lot about reading music, but this little bit of theory can come in big time handy for you when you're mixing, because you don't ever want to mix in the middle of a bar. You always want to bring your beat coming in on the 1 count of the beginning of the bar. Otherwise, your phrasing's going to be off. And what happens is when your phrasing's off, your beats could be totally in sync, but you might hear a vocal pop in on the wrong beat. And if you're lucky, the crowd may not notice it too much, but some people may notice it, and it just kind of throws your groove off a little bit because you get the vocal coming in not on the 1 beat, and the vocal should almost always come in on the 1 beat or somewhere close to the beginning of the bar. Okay, so I hope it didn't confuse you too much. Honestly, the best way to train yourself to beat match is to just do it over and over and over again. Remember the tip I gave you? Try to split your ears off. You got to try to train one ear to listen to only the monitor and one ear to only listen to what's playing. But then you've got to, at some point, combine them both. Hear a unique track over here, hear a unique track over here, mix them together so it sounds like one track. The goal is to make the audience think it's all one track, it's never ending. If they don't notice when one track switches over to the next, but they do notice it's a different song or beat, that's when you know you got it. You want to avoid the train wreck, which is when the beats are off enough where it goes bum 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 bum, and it literally sounds like a train wreck. And other than dead air, other than sheer dead air, a train wreck is probably one of the worst things that you can do. But like I said, it's going to come with time. Beat matching is something you really just have to practice and practice at, and eventually you'll get it. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn it, you won't forget it, and you'll get better and better at it. Okay, so I hope that helps you a little bit with beat matching.